Why some narcissists don't try and come back.
Hello friends. Today we're exploring the murky depths of why some narcissistic jerks don't try to weasel their way back into your life after you finally give them the boot. You may be scratching your head, wondering, was I not enough supply? Did they find better prey to leech off of? Should I feel relieved or just downright insulted? Well, grab some snacks and get comfy, because I'm about to spill the tea on these disappearing acts. Light bulb moments ahead. First off, it's not about you, so don't take it personally. Repeat after me. The narcissist's behavior is not a reflection of my worth. Their dysfunction drives their decisions, not your value. We clear? Good. As you are watching this video, you may be expecting or fearing that the narcissistic will try to come back into your life. To prepare yourself in case they don't attempt to hoover you back in, I recommend subscribing and watching my video titled,
What forces narcissists to hoover and revalue after devaluation and discard?
The link is in the description below. In that video, I shed light on why narcissists suddenly come back as if nothing happened and their unusual hoovering tactics. I provide tips on how to steel yourself against falling back into their trap. Knowing what drives their behavior and being ready for their mind games is key to protecting yourself if a discarded narcissistic attempts to re-enter your life. Forewarned is forearmed when it comes to handling narcissistic hoovering. Now let's explore the twisted reasons these emotional vampires sometimes slither off without looking back. Knowledge is power, baby. Let's get schooled.
When the narcissistic leech has drained you dry.
Alright folks, got your notebooks ready? Lesson 1. Narcissists are parasites who feed off others for narcissistic supply. They'll latch onto a target, bleed them dry emotionally, financially, etc., then discard them when the supply runs out. But here's the catch. Sometimes narcissists miscalculate how much supply their victim has left to give. They hoover and exploit, thinking their host will keep providing, only to find you're down to empty. Oops. For example, take a parasitic narcissist woman who's been living off her boyfriend for 2 years. The boyfriend finally got sick of bankrolling her fancy tastes while she sits around watching reality TV all day. He changed the locks and cut off her credit cards. The narcissist exhausted his supply. Now she has to find another host to sink her fangs into. Or an entitled narcissistic man living with his wife. He quit his job, but still expects the wife to cook, clean, pay all the bills, and service his needs whenever he wants. But the wife is burned out and wants a divorce. Oh, there goes his supply food, shelter, money, and special intimate moments. Bye-bye, scrub. See what I mean? They misjudge the limit of supply and get cut off once it's tapped. Don't take it as failure on your part. They're just greedy parasites who overestimated your resources.
When the narcissist fears rejection.
Now class, on to lesson 2. Many narcissists are terrified of being rejected because it damages their fragile ego. After being cruel or devaluing someone, they worry, oh, too much damage done here. This person might actually reject me if I try to come back. For real narcissistic folks, HATE being rejected, it's a major blow to their false sense of superiority. Some examples: a narcissistic man was cheating on his girlfriend for their entire relationship. He worries if he tries to hook her back in, she'll reject him to get revenge for the betrayal. Ouch, his fragile ego couldn't take that hit. A narcissistic woman totally degraded and discarded her girlfriend after the love bombing phase ended. She worries if she circles back, she'll get blasted for how badly she treated her. Rejection stings too much. A narcissistic man was mooching off his brother for years, but got cut off. He'd love more supply, but fears his brother will slam the door in his face if he comes crawling back. Better slither off quietly than face rejection. See the pattern here, folks? For the prideful narcissist, potential rejection is scarier than no supply at all. They'd rather abandon ship than risk you turning them down cold. It's not about you. It's about protecting their massive yet fragile egos.
When the narcissist fears being exposed.
Now for advanced lesson 3. Many narcissists worry that if they return to an old source of supply, they'll end up getting exposed. And exposure means losing their fake mask and appearing weak and flawed to the world. For the image-obsessed narcissist, that's a freaking nightmare. Just imagine, a narcissistic man discarded his girlfriend in horrific fashion. But he worries if he tries to hook her back in, she'll tell everyone on social media how badly he treated her, exposing his true toxic colors for all to see. A narcissistic woman ghosted her husband out of the blue. But she worries if she comes back, the husband will reveal to friends and family how horribly she betrayed him over and over again. She doesn't want to be exposed as a serial cheater. A narcissistic man paraded a string of girlfriends during his marriage to keep narcissistic supply flowing. But he worries if he returns to his wife, she'll expose all his infidelity and ruin his fake perfect family image. See why the threat of exposure keeps these shady narcissists from returning. They want to protect their phony reputations at all costs. Not trying to hoover you back is purely a self-serving decision, nothing to do with your worth.
When the narcissist finds new supply.
Last lesson, folks. Sometimes the reason a narcissist disappears for good is simply because they found richer supply elsewhere. When that happens, they discard the old supply without a second thought. Ice cold, I know. Let's check out some examples. A narcissistic man was living off his girlfriend for years and getting constant praise for his mediocre musical abilities. Then he meets a new woman who has family money plus huge music industry connections. Bye-bye, old girlfriend. Why would he look back when the new woman offers more supply? A narcissistic woman is married to her husband, who provides steady supply, but it's gotten stale. Then she meets a new man who makes twice her husband's salary and is amazing in bed. She ghosts the husband fast for all the juicy new supply the other man provides. A narcissistic employee has been fraudulently using his company credit card and got busted by his boss. Rather than face consequences, he abruptly quits and latches onto a new, unsuspecting coworker at his new job who has no clue about his shady ways. Fresh, unsuspecting supply. Pretty messed up, right? But that's how these vampires operate. You're just supply to them, so when better supply comes along, they ditch you like yesterday's news. Try not to take it personally.
When the narcissistic cockroach gets sprayed with raid.
Alright folks, next up, what happens when the narcissist gets a taste of their own medicine? These cockroaches hate when you finally stand up, shine a light on their shadiness, and give them a shot of ice-cold truth spray. See, narcissists think their victims will just take the abuse forever. But sometimes their target snaps out of the fog and gives them a brutal reality check. For example, after years of being a mooching couch slug, a narcissistic man gets an epic truth bomb dropped on him when his girlfriend finally has enough. She calls him out for being a worthless, exploitative jackhole and kicks his lazy butt to the curb. Ouch! A narcissistic woman is known for ghosting men once she gets bored. But one night, her latest boyfriend beats her to the punch and disappears first. He leaves a note telling her she's a cold, empty succubus who doesn't deserve love. Gasp. A narcissistic woman constantly cheats on her husband, then discards him when she wants a shiny new boy toy. Well, one day, the husband has enough and serves her divorce papers. He gets the house, the kids, and gleefully waves bye-bye as she gets a dose of her own medicine. How's it feel? Narcissists hate getting spritzed with truth repellent. It messes with their whole victim mentality and false sense of superiority. So rather than deal, they just scurry off to find a new, dim-lit place to infest. Good riddance.
When the narcissist gets bored and needs new thrills.
Now class, on to the ugly truth that narcissists get bored easily and constantly crave fresh excitement. You may give them your all, but these unfaithful dirtbags always want more titillating thrills. For example, a narcissistic woman seems content with her sweet, trusting boyfriend. That is, until a bad boy shows up on the scene with his motorcycle and leather jacket. Yawn. The nice guy is so boring now. The woman starts getting her forbidden fruit fix from the bad boy on the side. A narcissistic man started out utterly infatuated with his girlfriend. But once the initial rush wears off, flaky man starts scoping out the bar scene for spicy side action. His girlfriend just can't provide the enthralling excitement he constantly craves. A narcissistic woman makes a game out of seeing how many men she can string along at once. She gets off on the illicit secrets, lies, and sneaking around. And on the rare occasion, she does get caught. The woman just disappears like a vampire into mist. A crude, unfeeling creature of the night. Morale of the story? Narcissists are always restless thrill seekers, looking for their next hit of enticing supply. You can't provide enough excitement to satisfy their depraved appetites. Wise up.
When the washed-up narcissist gets traded in.
And finally, folks, sometimes narcissists just get straight up traded in for a newer model once their looks fade or status declines. For example, back in his prime, a balding narcissistic man had no issues using his fame and fortune to land superficial arm candy. But now he's getting older, his status is fading, and his bank account isn't as loaded. So his trophy wife is looking to trade up and latch onto someone higher on the food chain. A narcissistic mean girl was the hottest woman in her clique back in college, and she never let her friends forget it. But now she's pushing 40, the wrinkles are starting to show, and the younger women treat her like yesterday's news. They see her as over the hill, so they dethrone the former queen bee. A controlling narcissistic man always selected his girlfriends based on their obedience, as well as their youth and looks. But now he's aging out of his appeal, so his last girlfriend dumped him for a hot young stud. The narcissistic man is feeling pretty salty about getting rejected for once. Karma, folks. It comes for these shallow narcissists sooner or later. TikTok, your expiration date on using people is coming up quick. And that concludes our intensive course on why narcissists sometimes slither off for good after love bombing and discarding their prey. Here are the big takeaways. Don't take it personally. It's not about you being inadequate supply. They may fear rejection from you damaging their fragile ego. They worry you could expose their true toxic self. Or they simply found richer, newer supply elsewhere. The narcissist's behavior says nothing about your worth. It's all about protecting their false image and getting continuous ego strokes. You deserve so much better. Stay strong, know your value, and close the door firmly behind them. Class dismissed. I believe in you. The best is yet to come. Narcissistic fathers lead daughters to engage in self-destructing behavior.